Alright, so I've been planning on making this video for a while now, and I was thinking about making it a policy video where I step by step go through each of their policies and tell you which one I agree with and why I like Trump so much more. But there's really no reason to do that because the answer can be said more simply and more straightforward. I could talk about the Biden-Harris immigration policy, which has been one of the most egregious anti-American and psychotic things I've ever seen in my lifetime. And the constant gaslighting, calling everybody racist and xenophobic who knows exactly what they're doing and why, is exhausting. I could point to the Supreme Court justices who, although I'm not really thrilled with Trump's picks, Democrats seem to elect judges that see the Constitution way differently than I do. Or how during COVID, no matter how egregious what the Republicans did, which it was, Democrats somehow found a way to be more evil, more tyrannical, more psychotic.
The country is still in a crisis, and there's a dark winter still ahead.
And lie 1,000 times as much to make holding either party accountable nearly impossible due to all the propaganda. I could talk about how they run their cities, the crime rates, how they gaslight and lie to you about them, the economy, even though I see the reason why it's so bad right now differently than a lot of Republicans. I could talk about all those things and much more when it comes to policy and specifics, but I really just want to say this. Not only did Kamala Harris not get elected, she got selected. Multiple liberal people in my life even came to me and said that it was a coup on Joe Biden. Even they could see it's a coup. Not every Democrat and liberal, but a lot of them. She wasn't voted for. If Joe Biden is so bad that he can't run for next election, why is he the president now? What the Democrats did is what they project onto everybody else, because when they say democracy, what they really mean is the opposite. But that's not even why I'm voting for Trump. The main reason is Kamala Harris isn't real. Everything she says and does, it's all fake. How can you as a journalist or a citizen point something out and try to change policy when one party, the Democratic Party, is so ridiculously fake, hidden behind layers of corporate press, and constantly just stirring everything up and making it so chaotic and evil that nobody can even point to anything? How could we get anything done with her as president? Not only do 99% of her policies seem to be the exact opposite of how I think the country should be run, but I see Kamala Harris as one of these mega companies with a PR team that's literally non-existent, and there's no sense of even talking about anything her or Biden are doing as somebody who wants to get them to change, because they're never going to change. They're not real people. They're not real leaders. They're puppets. They're pawns. And they're so ridiculously disingenuous and fake, there's no point in pretending otherwise. Donald Trump, for as many mistakes as he's made, for as flawed as he is, for the egregious things that he did during COVID, and more, he's the president of the United States. He's the real leader. He represents us more. And also, look at his campaign this time. He has RFK Jr., a Democrat, next to him who cares about the food supply. Trump doesn't care about that stuff. He doesn't care about pesticides. He drinks Diet Coke, and he's probably going to live till he's 100. But he's brought on RFK, given him a platform to talk about how our country is being poisoned and bamboozled. Kamala Harris could have probably had RFK standing next to her. She doesn't care. Everything's fake. When it came to Trump's Syria policy, he cut billions of dollars of funding from intelligence communities and even changed his policy off of what people were saying. It proves that he listens somewhat, not completely. He could be stubborn, he could be wrong. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of things that he will do that are not right, and I hope that people pay attention. But with Trump, there is customer service there, as long as his base and the people around him want to accurately point it out without acting psychotic or ridiculous. Trump has a better border policy, a better immigration policy. He picks better federal judges and Supreme Court judges than Democrats. He tries to get along with other countries' leaders like Putin and Kim Jong-un, which the media hates because of course they want us in perpetual war so they could push their liberal world order and destroy America while they also destroy Europe at the same time. But even Trump, with all his flaws, I don't believe he's the type of person who wants everybody to suffer. So every time he gets along with North Korea or gets along with Russia, to me that's the real reason they hate him. Because I hate to say this to people that obsess over Trump, but in many ways he's completely compromised and I don't think he's that big of a threat. And then people always say to me, well, why do you think they're going after him so hard? Why do you think this? If you look at it, Russia collusion, Bernie people are Russians, Trump supporters are Russians, Russia. What did they do after the 2020 election? They wanted that war, and they knew that Trump was trying to stop the war. And for people in the comments that are going to get upset and say, how dare you vote for Trump, or how dare you say this? With Kamala, your opinion literally doesn't matter. She's not listening. She's lying. She's got 1,000 different faces. You don't even know what's going on or what they're doing because they're doing so many messed up things at one time that it's impossible to point out. And even if you do point it out, literally no Democrat cares what you're saying because they gaslight and lie about literally everything. I've told people the truth about conservative and Republican media. I think most people are controlled opposition. And I think literally almost everybody in the Republican Party besides Thomas Massie is much more compromised than people realize. However, the Republican Party is the better party. The Republican Party is shifting. The Overton window shifting. It is the better party. The better change that's going to fix America is going to happen through the Republican Party, not through the Democrat Party. Ideas like Ron Paul, who were blacklisted from Republican media 15 years ago, are now being repeated by J.D. Vance. The idea of income tax, which income tax, in my view, is a communist ideology, progressive and graduated income tax. Karl Marx wanted it when it didn't exist in America, and now it does. Even Trump is floating the idea to get rid of it. I'm not saying he for sure is. I'm guessing he won't. But what are the Democrats going to do for us? They run every city horrifically. They're greenlighting tens of millions of people coming into our country in the most outlandish, ridiculous ways because they hate us. They pick the worst judges, the worst federal judges. They lie about everything on their media. You can't even begin to have a conversation or a debate with them. And even controlled opposition Republican media and controlled opposition Republicans, for as annoying as they are to me and as bad as they are, one, the Overton window shifting. In my view, we're winning the conversation. And the more they try to fight it, the stupider and faker they look. So they hide back in their little gopher holes most of the time after they try to pop out and say something stupid. But in general, they still have some sort of tangible value. They still agree with us on some policies when it comes to America. And this analogy really drives it home for me. The Democratic Party is like a company where they literally have no customer service. There's no way to talk to them. There's no way to get somebody on the phone. They don't care. They're not pretending to. They will ruin everything proudly. The Republican Party, it's not the best customer service, but it's there. It's growing. It's changing in the right direction. Trump has good and bad people surrounding him. Elon Musk, say what you want about him, has done more with Twitter and shifting the Overton window than anybody's done in a long, long time. RFK Jr. is talking about the most important topic that everybody's been ignoring, regardless of politics, which is the fact that half of our country is obese. Everybody's getting diseases. We all know why, but the tech companies and the politicians are working against us to try to silence the narrative that would fix this country. And Trump's putting them on a stage, and RFK's telling you that he's going to get a position to do something. This might be the only chance within 20, 30 years that we have to actually tangibly fix our country. I mean, if you don't care about the fact that everybody used to be in shape and now over half the country's fat and has chronic illnesses, like, it's really scary. The television, all the commercials, it's just like pharma commercial. It's creepy, it's disgusting, it's disturbing, it's sickening. And the Democrats couldn't care less. And Republicans are at least opening the door to have the conversation and think about it. I could go on and on and on, but I've said enough here. There's nothing the Democratic Party does for me. Nothing. Literally nothing. They don't listen. They're not there. Everything's a lie. Everything's a gaslighting attempt. And if this were adults in the room trying to figure out the situation, this would be the Democrats. They just screw everything up. The Republicans are the adults in the room. They can be annoying. They can be fake. They're adults. Trump, he's the real president. Let's be honest. Even if you hate Trump, look at him. Listen to him talk. Who's the president of the United States? Joe Biden right now? He's so bad he can't even run for office, yet he's still the president. Kamala Harris, who nobody elected, she got selected by the party in order to try to psyop people into keeping them in power. These are not the real representatives of the United States. Even if you hate Donald Trump, he represents our country right now. The primary ended. There'll be another one in 4 years. Right now, he's the president. He's the best. There's more of a chance of getting the truth into his administration than any others. He picks better judges. There's a chance of him addressing the income tax thing and the food supply stuff. And for every egregious thing that Trump does that you disagree with, I'm not asking you to let him off the hook. Keep shifting the Overton window towards righteousness and the truth, and watch the party shift over time. We have strength in numbers on social media. The truth gets more popular every day. You don't have to be a pom-pom waving Trump supporter in order to vote for him. And you don't even have to vote for him. This is just what I'm doing. I'm voting all Republican. I'm voting for Trump. This is why. And I will continue to use my voice and my platform to try to do real journalism, tell the truth, and continue to influence our party and our country in the right direction. Because with social media, with podcasting, and with online reports, most people see everything. We all see each other. We all are inspired or changed by what we see on social media. So I'm not going to be a negative Nancy. I'm going to do what I think makes the most sense, continue to be myself, and I've already seen so many changes in the right direction over the last couple of years, and I believe the truth ages well, so I'm not really concerned with anything else. And when it comes to war, funding foreign countries, his big pharma ties, etc., keep addressing those issues. Keep calling it out. Keep pushing for better people to be in his administration. Don't get complacent and don't just assume he's going to do the right thing, because he probably won't. And that's how we can make America great again and make America healthy again together. Never compromise what you believe in. To me, Kamala Harris is like a 0.00005 out of 10 when it comes to a politician and what I want for the country. Perhaps even a negative number. And Trump is anywhere from a 6 to a 9, depending how you look at it. It could be a lot better. It could be a lot worse. So that's my quick take. I could name about 50 policies that I like that Trump does better. I could name 100 policies that Kamala does that are egregious. I could name a lot of things that Trump does that I don't like, but I'm voting for him. He's the president. He makes the most sense. He's the better candidate. He's surrounded by better people this time than he was last time, and the Overton window is shifting whether he and the bad people around him like it or not. Kamala Harris's immigration policy alone should be enough reason for me or anyone to see why Donald Trump needs to be president. The Democrats are disgraceful. Pretty much everybody Biden hired, especially people like Mayorkas and the Attorney General Garland, are just unfathomably horrific. I can't imagine Trump will pick worse, and there's always room for us to call it out. Don't trust the plan. Trust your research and intuition. Appreciate you guys. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and check out my new song 9mm that comes out on Friday. I think it's the greatest song I've ever written, and I'm excited for you to hear my poetry. God bless you.